Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today and for the rest of the weekend is a that chapter type of weekend. What that means? Well, that means that'll be the whole YouTube, the whole 3 videos for Friday, which is today, Saturday, and Sunday. Will be all on the YouTube channel, that chapter, and their retelling of true crime scenarios. So, we're the 3 most recent ones. I think the most recent ones, unless I forgot one, but I don't think I did. So yeah, we're gonna listen to 3 of them and react to them. This one is the case of... I'm not even gonna attempt to say that name. I'll repeat the name when he says it. I'm not even gonna attempt it because I don't want to get anyone's name wrong. But, hope you all enjoy this. And let's get right into it.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, we're off once again, right? This time to Chicago. Finally, I know. To look at a story that is just... I mean, it's absolutely... running out of adjectives here that I haven't used before. It's mad. This one is twisting. It's got love triangles. Actually, more like a love hexadecagon. Yeah, I had to Google it too. And it revolves around an ex-NFL player. Sean Gale played for the Bears for most of his career. And the people he met in that city, the city that never sleeps... Oh wait, no, it's... No wait, it's windy there. Somebody should think of a name for that. One of the people he met was the yang to his yin. Or at least, that's what, she thought. Alright, here, come on. Let's stop tire kicking. Let's give it a go.
I have a feeling by the end of this I'm not going to be liking this football player. But let's find out what he did. I love that gate manager guy. I think that's what he is, like a manager guy now. He's like, oh shit, no. He did not want to be picked up.
So this one is set in Chicago. I don't really think I need to get into the where in this old one. We can fast forward past that part. Let's get to the when. But before that, we got to get to before. When? 1985, because that's when the Bears won the Super Bowl. That Chicago team has gone down as one of the greatest of all time. The Mike Ditka-led Bears losing just 1 game that season and trouncing the Pats 46-10 on the 26th of January 1986. That team was, important, right? Important to the sport of football, but what's important to us is who was on that team. Sean Gale played cornerback, then safety. Though he wasn't a starter for the first 4 years with the Bears, during that 1985 season he played in 16...
That didn't look good. Sean Gale is in the middle, he is literally the it box. I'm gonna guess he's one of these 2, I just don't know which one.
Games, recovered 1 fumble, ran in a punt for a touchdown, and had 18 combined tackles. I'd say in Chicago, the gusty city. There you go. Everyone on that team was a hero. Heroic, and beers for life on the house. Sean himself had a great career. He wasn't a starter for the first few years, but soon turned into a big contributor to the team. He was a Super Bowl winner in his 2nd year in the league, played with the Bears for another 9 seasons, went to the Pro Bowl, then went to the Chargers for 1 season. Very respectable
That's very impressive. How did it go on?
Career. So why are we talking about Sean Gale? Well, far removed, right, from that epic time and that epic team, especially when you look at today's Bears, is where our story takes place, right, in 2000 and...
Oh wait, no, I don't watch football. I don't watch football.
And 7, where that background relates to the now ground. After his football career ended, he was still in the football world. Still a celebrity, doing interviews, hosting, all that sort of stuff.
It's a roller coaster ride. It's very emotional. You have so much pride in what you've accomplished and the belief in the team and the city. Everyone's behind you. It's really something to experience.
Sean a popular guy, soft-spoken, charismatic. And while he was, popular with the ladies, he was in fact though this wasn't really broadcasted very much, he was in a long-term relationship with a woman named Rhoni Reuter. She was from
Rhoni Reuter. That's what I guess this is. The one that name's about. This woman, Rhoni Reuter. By the way, there's probably a reason he didn't want them to know that he was in a long-term relationship. He probably didn't want chicks to know that, so he can get more chicks. That's my prediction.
From Potosi, Wisconsin. They had met in 1989 at a Bears charity event in Wisconsin and hit it off, remaining together for about 18 years, settling into the Deerfield area, an affluent suburb north of Chicago proper. Even after being together for so long, they never married, even though Rhoni would have loved to have been. And in fact, they didn't even live together. Sean, it seems, wasn't quite ready to,
There's probably a reason for that.
to be settling down. After 18 years, when will he be? But in 2007, when Rhoni Reuter was 41 years old, she learned she was pregnant with Sean's baby. They were expecting a child together. They were happy together, both described as lovely, down to earth, even though Sean was a super champ, they were low-key quiet. Things stopped being quiet, though, on the 4th of October 2007. The air is crisp and autumnal, smells good, things are red and orange and brown, and witches are lurking. That Thursday morning, right before 8 a.m., 7-month pregnant Rhoni was getting ready to go to work. She commuted into downtown Chicago, where she was employed at Macy's. It was about a 40-minute drive.
Okay.
That morning, as Rhoni was opening the door to leave, a gun opened up on her. She was shot 7 times with 9mm rounds. 2 of those shots were aimed at and hit her unborn baby.
I already have a feeling I know how this one ends, and it makes me sick to my stomach. I'm gonna wait to see what it feels till I find out that what I know to be is correct. But let me say, and I feel like we're all probably thinking this, we got our feeling.
Rhoni, it's Krista downstairs. Are you okay? I heard a woman screaming, and I don't know, then it went quiet. Would you give me a call, please? Thank you.
Bitch, I'm just saying, if you're downstairs, look out the window. If you're upstairs, look out the window. I'll give you have a window. Look at the window, and you'll find out that she's clearly not okay.
The police, I heard a woman screaming, and then a pop, pop, and it went totally silent. I called my other neighbor upstairs, and she's pregnant, and she does not answer. I left her a message to call me back, if she was okay.
When the police arrived at 441 Elm Street in Deerfield, after the neighbor called, the door was open, and Rhoni was in the kitchen. She had stumbled back in. And when, in the house, the police saw pictures of the victim and a Super Bowl champ, it became big old news, big talk in the town. A reporter was actually the person to let Sean know, which is always kind of fucked up. And Sean then called the police to ask if this was true.
Wait, was he not home at that point? I'm confused now by something.
I'm calling about that shooting in Deerfield.
Yes.
Listen, I've been getting calls from the media. This is Sean Gale, and they're trying to say they're naming me as a suspect.
Hold on, please.
Was it Rhoni Reuter? Is she okay?
Yes, it was Rhoni, and no, she's not.
She's dead. I'm driving to her house right.
I'm sorry, chill out. I know this is always like, is that Rhoni Reuter? Yes, it is, Rhoni, and no, she's not. Nope. Not doing good at all. Not doing good at all. I don't know if you're aware of this, but she got shot! I saw her walk in the say so badly. But I'm not buying this guy at all right now.
Right now.
Okay, don't go to her house. Sean, don't go to her house, okay?
I gotta call his parents.
So now, they had a crime scene on their hands. Pause, bears. Rhoni had been shot 7 times. Also at the scene were 5 unspent shells also.
Woo! To shoot a woman, a pregnant woman, 7 times shows a heartlessness beyond what I can imagine. You have to be so heartless, so cold-blooded to shoot a pregnant woman 7 times. Especially when you aim 2 of them at that, the kid, the unborn child.
Whoever did this must have literally been standing right in front of the door, waiting for it to be opened so they could open up on her. And shells were found in the house beside Rhoni, so the person really wanted to make sure the job was done. The only witnesses, to the crime, which happened right around rush hour on a Thursday morning, though this was a pretty quiet town. A couple of witnesses said they saw what they thought was a short black guy running from the scene wearing baggy clothes and then getting away into a small black car, driving off. Now obviously Sean, he was not short, but he did become the initial person of interest in the case.
Don't blame him. Don't blame him. Especially the way this guy's acting. The way that guy acted in that call, I probably think he was a suspect. I know one of my things is they always accuse the husband and make it a gripe about it, but when you act like this, and you react like this, yeah.
After all, motives like, I don't want baby, have come up before. Just a couple of hours after Rhoni was shot dead in her home, her partner of almost 2 decades was questioned by police for over 10 hours.
Woo! Okay. So, damn. Now, because that looks bad. That looks bad on police. Because you shouldn't interrogate someone for that's too long. That's too long. Even if you think he's a suspect, I wouldn't interrogate someone for 10 hours. That's too long. Because that looks like the point where you're waiting for him to break, right? Like you're just keeping him there until he breaks. But then what you do is not trustworthy for that reason. So no, I think that they definitely put him there too. That's too long.
Imagine that. He was cool, calm, and collected. And although some parts of his story of what he had been up to for the past 24 hours didn't quite add up. It didn't seem like he was involved. It did seem like he was lying, but not about murder.
No, I can't rule him out in my brain yet, though. I can't rule him out. He's too weird, and he doesn't want a child, and he doesn't want to marry for a reason. No, I don't know. I can't rule this guy out yet.
His inconsistencies were really to do with his timeline. The morning of the shooting, he said he got up, he worked out, and then he got a haircut. But it was before that they were more interested in, and who he'd spent time with. Because it wasn't long after that the police did find out, when Sean told them that he had more women in his life than Rhoni. He said it was an open relationship. He's the champ and champs get chicks, but Rhoni Reuter's family would say she wasn't into that sort of thing at all. But
No, it's an open relationship for him only. He's aware of the open. He is the only one that knows about this open relationship. He's the only one that considers it an open relationship, and he's the only one that is going to allow it to be an open relationship. Okay, he's a fucking cheater who probably cheated on who knows how many. Cheated on her. Who knows how many women. How many do we got? Well, no, how many?
He obviously was, and it was what it was. Sean actually ended up giving the police a long list of women he had been with or was currently seeing. He listed the names of 16 women.
Now, I've heard. We've heard. In true thing, if you're a fan of true crime, we've heard some stories usually about people cheating on their girlfriends in this case, and wives and all that, with other women. This is the most I have heard done at one time. 16 women, plus the girl he's with, plus Rhoni here. So 17 women this guy is with. There is something horrible there's a horribleness to this man. This man is a horrible person.
And I will now read them out
And he's a womanizer.
alphabetically and where they are today. So then it became, the leading theory, jealousy, woman scorned, something. They're a lot of fun. So when Sean was asked, hey, any of these honeys maybe want you for, themselves, he named one name. It was a woman he had broken up with about a year ago, and it was not good. He named a Polish woman named Monica. She had been stalking him, and he had to get an order of protection against her. A very, rational and, of sound mind move. She once punched through a window to show how much she loved him. That's dedication. How could he say no to that?
Alright, so this bitch is crazy.
Some of the women in his life had also been receiving some, hate mail, harassing, and they were receiving, legit mail. Whoever was sending these letters was dedicated, she had to go out and get stamps and everything. The letters were basically talking shit. Sean thought Monica may have been the sender. I think, maybe, you would like to know what your boyfriend Sean is doing with a lot of other women. He will lie to you and tell you a lot of stories, and try to make everything sound like your fault, like he does to me. He gets away with it for a long time by pretending being busy a lot of times, and let women spend one night only at his house. So I want to give you their names and telephone numbers so you can see for yourself. She then proceeds to list some. So there was some nutjob out there sending these letters to a lot.
I still think it's the guy. I'm sorry, I'm going full on that it's this guy.
A lot of women. And funnily enough, when Rhoni died, there was one of those letters in her handbag. But, Monica was cleared. She was a personal trainer and was personally training someone at the time, of the shooting. She also denied sending any of the letters. When she was confronted with it, it's the first time hearing of it, apparently. Which was odd, because the letters had spelling mistakes on them, that's why Sean assumed she had been sending them. She wasn't in.
But Sean would know that she had spelling errors. So he'd be able to do it, making people believe it's her.
Native English speaker or writer. So maybe someone wanted it to look like Monica had been sending them. A Monica who was now cleared. And so the investigation went on. So you get a strange person, possibly black, although others said it could have been just somebody wearing a disguise, but everybody agreed the person was short. You got a long list of women, some of which may be jelly. One of the people, who heard the shooting, the pow pow, would later say it sounded like there could have been a silencer on the gun, right, which fired a shot. So therefore you got somebody who knows their way around firearms and is also a cold-blooded mother effer who murdered a woman.
But wait, if there was a silencer, how would you hear the gunshots? Unless, I don't know how gunshots work. I might not know, so I might be overthinking. But I thought a gunshot, you wouldn't hear anything. So how would you then hear the pow pow pop pop of the gun?
And an unborn baby. Then another one of these women came up. A certain Rhoni Yang.
Who?
They had met at a Bears event in 2005, and things they went on from there. They were originally doing some business dealings together, a little real estate deal, and well, one thing led to another. Rhoni Yang was a divorcee, mother of 3, and she worked a number of jobs, including real estate, waitressing, and modeling. And when I say modeling, I mean holy monkey! Lads, save that one for later. She was aspiring to be a fitness model. I don't know what to tell you. Hot diggity dog! They're the least sexy pics I've ever seen. It's like they slapped fake tits on a chain-smoking ferret. 2 months.
That's the best way to insult someone I've heard. Brilliant.
After the murder, police received a tip that Marnie was involved. More than one tip. Apparently, after the shooting, she was telling anyone that would listen that she was Sean Gale's girlfriend. He said, they hooked up a few times. End of list. But, and this is a big booty, they had hooked up the night before Rhoni Reuter was murdered. They also learned she'd been accessing his emails and was probably stalking him for a long-ass time. Started looking like Marnie might be our author over here. She also took this sweet-ass picture with a hog. And getting into his emails and all that was how she learned about the other women.
How you doing? I'm Marnie?
Yes.
I'm Detective Chuck Schwartz.
Okay, I just want to find out your association with Sean, how you know Sean, when you first met Sean.
Probably not.
No, you can't be telling me this guy's actually innocent. What? If this guy is innocent by the end of this, I'm gonna be mind blown. What? No. No way this guy is innocent. What? This guy acted so sketchy. Okay. My apologies. I was too rough on the guy. My apologies.
For about 6 years. We met at a convention.
Marnie, obviously you know why we're talking all
Yeah,
this is about.
Probably not too many people out there.
Right, they don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
They knew she had a list of women, and all of those women had received letters, including herself. Marnie also had a history of harassment. In 1998, a Chicago cop filed an order of protection against her after, get a load of this, she sent letters to him and his wife, threatening his life, career, and marriage.
Well, she just made herself like a hell of a bigger suspect, didn't she?
So by this stage, Sean was long cleared, but the police, they really wanted to get a closer look at Marnie. So what they did was bug Sean's house and have him invite Marnie over. And one of the first things he asked Marnie, was he had that letter. He was like, do you think whoever wrote these harassment letters could be the killer?
I guess it's possible. Yeah, I think this person's a little unbalanced. Got a few screws loose.
My whole point, what I'm trying to bring up, anyone who takes someone else's life, there's got to be some really lasting effect that
I would imagine so. You have to be a sociopath in its purest form in order to be able to take another person's life.
Okay, so I have a new theory on who I think this. This was a twist I didn't see coming.
Searching Marnie's bins, they found a receipt for the purchase of a book. The book being how to make disposable silencers.
Why is this a book? Why is that a book? Why is the book called that? Why is there a book called that? There shouldn't be.
A complete guide. Things were starting to become clearer. When the police spoke with her for a second time, they asked her where she was during the murder, and she said back home. Her son was too, he could back it up. That's what she said, and he couldn't do that. They asked about the book, and she said it was a gag gift. She said she did own 4 weapons, but the police already knew she owned 5. The one she left out was the 9mm.
Oh boy, this girl. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna do her thing. I apologize to Mr. Sean. I have accused him of being a suspect when he clearly was not. It was clear this woman right here, so I apologize.
There was another one with black. It was coming out of that.
Where's that?
That one? I do not know. I want to say about a year and a half ago, something disappeared out of my house. I did not make a police report because I had no homeowner's insurance at the time.
Still not enough now, though, to charge her. Right, but they had one more thing. So that means we have to meet a certain Christy Passion, who was a, is this your card? Psychic. Psychics and magicians are basically the same, right? Christy would speak to the police. She was a close friend of Marnie Yang. And get a load of this, right? As a psychic.
Come on. Alright, we're gonna get off this for a second until it gets its ass back in check. I am baffled by what this video has become because I spent a whole bunch of time definitely thinking it was one person, only to find out I was wrong, and now my brain is completely screwed up because I don't know what to think. I don't know why my internet's being so weird right now and it's not cooperating. This is annoying.
Kick.
Okay, so it's back going, so let's get back into it then.
To the police. She was a close friend of Marnie Yang. And get a load of this, right? As a psychic, the day before the murder, Christy had done a tarot reading for Marnie. What card did Marnie get? The Sun! Well, shit. What more do you need to know? The Sun means good fortune, happiness.
Dang, this thing is having trouble loading stuff. What? Okay, here's what I'm just gonna talk for a minute here. Can't get that off. Damn it. Okay. Let's go talk for a minute here and give this some time, see if it helps load up. Because it's really slow right now. And I have a feeling if it's slow like this here, that might get reset. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn this off right now. And we're going to get right back into it when the internet starts cooperating fully. Alrighty, we'll be back in a second. You will see a transition now. So, it's not super loading, but there's been more to load up. So, the first case will end up being in 3 parts, the worst case. We'll see how it goes. Let's get back into it.
Joy and harmony. It represents the universe coming together and agreeing with your path and aiding forward movement into something greater. Somehow I don't think those things are going to happen to Marnie. But Christy, you know, when she does tarot shit for her, she was convinced it would mean that Marnie would achieve her goal of murder. Christy was, she was a bit of a character, obviously. She said she had been in an army intelligence program called Gondola Wish in '76, which was an actual parapsychology program. The US was worried that the Soviets were going to get psychics to read minds, out-of-body experiences, all that. It's a whole...
I have no comment as to why that's what they thought, but okay. That's really weird.
Whole conspiracy captain video right there, to be honest. It's all part of this fucking weird Cold War shit militaries were doing back then. Anyways, I'm not sure how Christy knew this, because she said that when she left the military, her memory was erased. Anyways, during an interview, Marnie had said she had visited Christy the day before the shooting. Now, after the police had spoken with Christy twice, she made a couple of conflicting statements. And they had this recorded phone call from the day of the murder, which sounded odd.
Christy Passion, how can I help you?
Can you go to dinner?
Okay. That's fine.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay. Not a problem.
All right, I'll call you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, there is something odd about that. There's something odd about that. Really weird. That's really weird.
They found out Marnie had rented a small black car right before the shooting, but
Hold on, are we now switching suspects again? What?
registered it to Christie's address. When the police put a bit of pressure on her, she agreed to wear a wire. And this was in March of 2009. They got everything.
Okay. She started screaming. I took the first time because at that point I realized we are not recording the cow. And I just started emptying her. I took maybe 1 or 2 steps into the kitchen to finish the job.
Just that easy. Just that easy you confess to it. Just that easy you confess to it. What the hell? How are you confessing to it? That's the most easiest I've ever seen someone confess to a murder I've ever seen. Doesn't matter, you just threw your ass in jail quickly there.
Marnie had shot her at the door, went in, tried to shoot her again, but the gun jammed a few times, hence the unspent rounds, but she got one off at Rhoni's head. She then fled. Marnie was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. She pleaded not guilty. The trial went ahead in 2010. Marnie said she knew about the recording, that she was being recorded the whole time. It was a tall tale. The confession? Bullshit.
Alright, let's not make it up.
When I told the truth, I was actually lying and I wasn't telling the truth. I am telling the truth now, though. She said that her son, he'd been questioned by the police and they had threatened to arrest him and maybe charge him with murder instead. So she just invented a whole load of stuff. She was found guilty.
I'm about to say, that's the most unbelievable story I think I've ever heard. What the hell? Police are just gonna randomly convict the son of murder for no reason and then so she would confess. That's not no. I've seen police do horrible things. I've not seen that one.
Life in prison. So, slam dunk. It was for almost a decade, actually. Now, Marnie is trying to get out of prison. Basically on the defense I just gave. Marnie and co are alleging that her kids were forced to confess and cooperate with the police, and that the real killer is still out there.
What's going on right now presents an unprecedented and imminent danger to my immediate health and safety.
For 11 years, Marnie Yang has lived a life behind bars. Now she says her life is in jeopardy.
Well, my age is one factor. I have diabetes and I suffer from severe asthma.
The Illinois Department of Corrections tells us
no, I ain't gonna lie. This chick is not gonna get out of this jail because she made a murder. She confessed to it.
They are following national health guidelines. This new plea for Yang's release comes as her defense team is asking for a retrial. Yang was convicted of shooting Rhoni Reuter, killing her along with her unborn child. The defense is awaiting results of fresh evidence from the murder scene, like this fingerprint that was found on a doorknob at Reuter's home. Why did you confess to the murder of Rhoni Reuter?
Oh, well, I can tell you that by the time I decided to make the confession, my family had been under relentless attack by Lake County detectives, to the point where my children actually suffered a breakdown. They repeatedly kidnapped my son from school and threatened him.
Oh, for God's sakes. Come on. Come on, woman. You're gonna use that. Use better reasons. You can't just start throwing stuff like out there without evidence. No one's gonna buy that shit. Come on.
And there was nothing we could do about it. We all felt just so helpless. I was willing to say anything at that point to protect my children.
There is a website, Free Marnie Yang, and yeah, it's aimed at overturning the conviction. Evidence, they say, that she did not do it, as follows. A report states that whoever shot Rhoni was a good bit taller than her. Marnie, shorter. They also say that DNA was found, fingerprints, and that someone had in fact stolen her gun. And it seems like someone may have in fact, and a thief even confessed to it, but the police never told Marnie's defense about it, and the gun has never been found. Also, witnesses placed her at her home. Her son did say she was there, but he was pressured into saying she wasn't.
When investigators discovered Rhoni Reuter's body in her Deerfield apartment the morning she was
No, I won't, I'm sorry, no, I can't, no, I think she, no, I don't buy it.
shot to death back in 2007, in addition to the gunshot wounds, the coroner noted injuries to her face, abrasions and bruisings to below her left eye, her lips and chin. Now, an acclaimed forensic pathologist hired by Marnie Yang's family says those injuries happened several days before the murder, not when she fell after being shot.
Whoever beat up Rhoni Reuter 2 days before her death is the killer.
Sean Gale. I mean, he dated Rhoni for 16 years, and we're questioning his alibi. Timeline just does not add up.
So yeah, I mean, the things that her defense are alleging, it's interesting, I'll give it that, and I think it's definitely worth looking at, right? But there's also a whole lot of shit that would put you in the direction that she definitely did do it. The letters, the rented car, the confession. It's a sad story, though, all around, and it seems like there will be a couple of new hearings before we will actually, get to deciding if there will be a second trial for Marnie Yang. I mean, I think it's more likely she did do it. You got motive even just right there. And witnesses did describe the suspect as being shortish, 5'4". One witness even saying they thought it was a teenager. Marnie was quite short, but I would be extremely interested in seeing what would happen if she did get a new trial. I'm not sure how likely it is, though, and COVID delays are no doubt having an impact. I think she probably did do it, but hey, crazier things have happened, and maybe there's a whole, smoking gun we just don't know. I mean, I'll see, so long as she doesn't do any more modeling, we'll be good. Thank you so much for watching.
Alrighty, so that's it for that. That would put an end to part 2. I mean, you've seen the full video because it's edited together, but this is part 2 recording, and I did a transition, so you knew it was part me recording again, so I didn't look like a fucking weirdo. Just put 2 videos together, even though I said I was going to stop doing it. I'm just going to stop rambling now. Thank you all for watching. Again, if you want more of that chapter reactions, tomorrow and Sunday, we'll both have them, so, definitely be watching for them. Actually, now I think about it, wait, this would be Thursday. So, this would be Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I gotta do one more. I gotta find one more that chapter video to react to. Anyways, I made a whoopsie. You just seen it there. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.